Have you heard about the recent news of the Philippines canceling Chinese Belt and Road initiatives? Many speculate about the reasons behind this decision, but let's dig deeper into the truth behind it. Dating back to the ancient Silk Road, Chinese merchants would sail to Philippine shores to exchange goods like silk, ceramics, and spices. This connection not only brought material wealth, but also cultural exchanges between the two nations. Fast forward to today, China's influence in the Philippines can be seen in various aspects of society. But the Philippines has confirmed China will not be providing financial assistance on three big ticket railway projects: a 44-mile freight railway and two intercity rail lines, because of apparent Chinese disinterest, the Philippines' Department of Transportation cited. Another key factor was the Philippines' desire to maintain its sovereignty and independence. Some feared that the Chinese initiatives could compromise the country's autonomy in the long run. The announcement came just weeks after Beijing hosted the third Belt and Road Initiative Forum with much fanfare. China has touted the 10-year-old trillion-dollar international infrastructure program as a modern-day form of the Silk and Maritime Silk Road trade networks that connected ancient China with far-flung regions. The Philippine president was notably absent from the Belt and Road Forum in October, which saw the attendance of only 23 heads of state versus 37 at the previous forum in 2017. Philippine transportation authorities have indicated they are optimistic the Southeast Asian country could secure the funding from another source, such as the U.S.-dominated World Bank, Japan Cooperation Agency, or Asian Development Bank, in which the U.S. and Japan hold the most shares. The Philippines' transport chief said at a press conference that Japan, India, and South Korea have each already offered to provide financing for the three rail lines. Japan is a major financier of Philippine public transportation, having already committed over $6.5 billion toward the construction of the country's first subway system, due to open in 2029, as well as several major connectivity initiatives in industrialized regions of the country. Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s administration had in mid-2023 ordered the trio of big-ticket projects to be renegotiated, since China had yet to provide a list of contractors. Moreover, there were questions raised about the transparency of these projects. Many felt that the terms of the agreements were not clear, leading to suspicions of potential hidden agendas. The initial agreement with China was obtained by Marcos's predecessor, former President Rodrigo Duterte, under whom the Philippines enjoyed cozier ties with Beijing. However, this relationship has soured as Marcos pushes back against incursions by China's Coast Guard and fishing fleet into traditional Philippine fishing grounds, and alleged aggression by Chinese maritime forces, such as a recent collision in the disputed Spratly Islands. The announcement came amid some countries' waning interest in China's signature economic initiative following accusations of debt trap diplomacy, a cynical ploy that entailed forward deployed concessions in the South China Sea in exchange for largely illusory investment pledges that failed to live up to expectations. Sri Lanka, struggling to pay its $8 billion debt to Chinese state-controlled firms, Sri Lanka hands over its $1.3 billion strategic port of Hambantota to China. Pakistan, China is constructing major port facilities at Gwadar as part of Beijing's $62 billion Belt and Road investment in Pakistan, mostly in loans. Pakistan's external debt already stands at $82 billion. Lao, public and publicly guaranteed debt was $14.5 billion, 89% of GDP by the end of 2021. From its peak in 2018, China's overall BRI-related activities are down by some 40%. This is partly due to declining financing from Beijing, as well as regulatory hurdles and financial fragility in various recipient countries. A recent research report published by Boston University found that while China's development finance institutions provided partner nations with about $331 billion between 2013 and 2021, many of the recipients of Chinese finance are subject to significant debt distress. By some accounts, China spent as much as $240 billion to bail out BRI recipient nations on the verge of bankruptcy, most dramatically in the case of Sri Lanka and increasingly in Pakistan and Laos. But as the Philippines effectively pulls out of China's BRI, the risk of a more volatile downward spiral in bilateral ties is rising, and it remains to be seen whether Japan, the US, South Korea, and Europe will actually fill the infrastructure gap China had earlier pledged to address. In the end, the decision to cancel these projects was a complex one, influenced by fiscal concerns, transparency issues, and a commitment to safeguarding national interests. Stay tuned for more breaking Philippine news on current events in and around the Pearl of the Orient Sea. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.